There's a group of legislators that are really focusing on domestic violence prevention this year and protection of families and those who are suffering abuse at the hands of people who supposedly love them. So we have Representative Ty's bill that makes it more difficult to restore firearms if you have been guilty of stalking, coercion, or hurting your loved ones. Representative Davis's bill takes a comprehensive look at domestic violence. So right now there are many women and children that are in shelters. We have the technology today so that those shelters don't need to be filled with women and children. They can be home, and the abuser is the one who's being monitored. So it would make mandatory statewide availability of technology that monitors offenders so that the women and children who are the victims of the abuse can stay home. It creates a program for the study of domestic violence at the University of Washington. There's a program for right to counsel for those who are suffering domestic abuse and don't have money to pay for their own lawyers. The bill would make a hotline where people could call in and have an analysis of the situation they're in, and that analysis would determine how much danger the family is in. So it's basically a risk of lethality hotline. My husband and I have a business. We had a young man working in our business, and he started washing cars with us when he was in high school. And we promoted him. He became a salesman. He was really talented, lovely, was sort of on a fast track to having a wonderful career. And we had no idea that he was in an abusive relationship with his girlfriend. So as it turned out, he's now in prison and his girlfriend is dead. He borrowed one of our vehicles and he borrowed one of our sales manager's jackets, and we found out later, jumped onto the hood of his girlfriend's vehicle, had stalked her, knew her routine, and shot her through the windshield of the car. And their child together was in the car when his mother was murdered. So there's a boy out there who is being raised by grandparents because his father's in prison and his mother is dead. So I guess the point of these bills is that we often don't know that domestic violence is happening, because here was a high-functioning person that we knew very well, or thought we knew very well. His girlfriend had an extreme risk protection order against him, and that piece of paper is not enough to protect vulnerable people who need us to do better. So this series of bills is us doing better, is doing more for people who are suffering silently, who are living in fear, who feel like their government isn't there for them. I'm really proud of the suite of bills that our members are running. Representative Griffey has a fantastic bill called the Hope Card bill that, rather than having a sheaf of papers saying that you're under a protection order, would create a laminated card system so that someone could easily identify themselves as being in danger of being stalked, harassed, or even killed. I'm personally working on child protection, and so these domestic violence bills that we're all working on have to do with protecting children. But I also have a child support collection bill, and I have a clergy mandatory reporting bill. So right now in Washington, we are one of only 7 states that doesn't make members of the clergy or our trusted faith-based groups mandatory reporters of child abuse. So the bill would say that if some member of your church became aware that children were in danger, they would be required to report that. So it's just one more step to hopefully making children more safe in our communities. I think it's really important that we come out with a strong set of protections for children this session. This is our opportunity. It doesn't necessarily cost money. It's just a policy direction and it's political will. So I really encourage people to contact their members of the legislature and encourage them to help us pass strong protections for children.